The slums, your friends, the whole planet. It's Daddy's job to protect it.
Yeah, I need a better computer. First time I played through this, I was crying. Now I'm able to just like suck them back in.
And that's why I've got to go. You remember that nice girl who came to find you? Well, now we have to go find her. And when we bring her home, you need to say thank you, okay?
Okay. That girl, she was kinda...
What?
nothing. You should help her.
We will.
You'll come back, right?
Yeah.
Of course, I promise.
Okay. You can go.
Little Miss Bossy is so freaking cute. Now put those glasses back on. They're for our protection.
Barrett.
She's tougher than me. Alright, time to get some payback.
Don't forget why we're doing this.
I know. To rescue Aerith.
I love Barrett. Alright, so we are going to wrap up here.
So, how are we supposed to get topside? With everything that's happened, the trains still aren't running.
Well, we could walk along the tracks.
The city's on high alert. All the roads and public transit have probably been locked down by now.
So what's the plan then? You know another way up?
No, but I think I know someone who might.
You mean Corneo?
Alright, so we're going to save here and call it a night. And we'll do 14 and 15, or excuse me, we're going to do episode, or the second chapter of Yuffie's DLC, and probably the next 2 chapters of Remake the next time I jump in. So I'm only streaming Monday and Wednesday. So I think on those days I'm going to swap out Jack and Daxter for Crisis Core. Or, excuse me, for Final Fantasy VII. And then once I get back from out of town, Crisis Core. Oof, my man. But anywho's it. I absolutely just... I love that scene. I love Cloud and Tifa, and they're my favorite ship. They're my OTP. But like the Bestica said, hang on a second. My liveness. Yeah, I gotta make sure that the thingy, like, and the thing is, it can be argued that it's the most wholesome ship, if that makes sense. Mostly because, like, and I usually go for ships that are a little spicier. I'm not saying Clody is without the spice. Yeah. Exactly. So a lot of the time, or at least as of this point in the game, which is something that not a lot of people fully grasp. Again, I'm a swap to the just chatting for a bit. All right, so for what winds up happening, yeah, no, I actually haven't fixed this overlay, so we're gonna stick in the other one, just have me in the corner. I'm not, yeah, we'll worry about it later. So the thing is, with, at least by this point in the game, Tifa really is the only thing keeping Cloud together. So she is his conscience. She's his Jiminy Cricket. So while Cloud has the best intentions at heart, yes, he's a little bit of an asshole. He's prickly. He's got this badass persona he's crafted for himself as a defense mechanism. Tifa is his conscience. She helps him manage his emotions because he's incapable of doing that himself. He cannot self-regulate at this point. So she is literally holding him together. And that plays out through the entirety of the compilation. The minute she doubts is the minute he breaks completely. The glue that's holding him together is still a little wet. So that's why, and I know the subset of a subset of a subset, which is what I like to call the Doki Doki cult, the very radical and belligerent Clarith, or members of the Clarith ship. They like to crucify Tifa as if like, oh, you want that Tifa wants Aerith to be up shit's creek without a paddle, when that's not exactly the case. Yes, she is not naive that Shinra is... They just dropped a plate. Like, they just killed over 50,000 people. Just underside of the in the slums. That's not including topsiders. So they're not ignorant of what Shinra is capable of. But at the same time, we have Elmira, who was telling them that Aerith is treated a lot better than the average person would be, because she is the last of the ancients. Because, like, what are they going to do? If they break her, it's not like they can get another one. So it can be argued that they would treat her better. But Cloud is right on the account that Hojo is the one that's running shit. And Hojo is not... He's not the sanest of the bunch. So it's just like, everybody is essentially right. So, but at the same time, it's just... You can be right, or you can be dead right. And with Cloud, he's just... pushing until something pops. And sometimes you just need a little bit of a lighter touch. Cloud's light touch is restricted to Tifa. Like, he is soft and gentle and sweet, cuddly boy with Tifa. Not so much anybody else by this point in the game. He is softening to everybody. And, like, for example, the best example would be his relationship with Barrett. Like, they started, like, full-on cantankerous. And yet now, they are compatible assholes, if that makes sense. So their sarcastic isn't like this. It's more like they mesh, you know, like where your knuckles are just like sinking into place. They're right. They're not like, yeah. That makes sense, I guess. At least it makes sense in my head. So they're all getting along, and they are all slotting into place by now. But still, the only person that understands Cloud and knows when to, like, pump the brakes for him is Tifa, even though he came back a little different. Or when she found him, he was a little bit of a Genova zombie. I mean, I know that's technically spoilers, but you've had 25 years. We all know. It's all the thing. But unfortunately, because Tifa is essentially playing the role of Cloud's Jiminy Cricket, she's getting crucified because, like I said, she wants to ship Aerith up Schitt's Creek without a paddle. And that's not the case. Why would she? Because, one, if they keep pushing Elmira, who's going to look after Marlene? If they keep pushing Elmira, who's going to look after Wedge? I mean, yeah, she just said she'll never leave a man injured on the street, but why would you press your luck? Really? Like, unfortunately, it's a very awkward dance, because Elmira is still kind of a stranger, and you don't push a mom in the wrong direction, because mamas become mama bears very easily. But that in and of itself doesn't mean that Tifa's to blame because, oh, look, she doesn't want Aerith to be rescued. That's not what you're supposed to glean from this. What you're supposed to take from this is the fact that Cloud and Tifa are so reliant on each other, and Cloud needs Tifa to be like, okay, these are your breaks, and Cloud will stop. Okay. She is holding his leash as of right now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's never been... Well, no, wait. She has been nasty to somebody, but he deserved it. Read traces of two past. Like, the motherfucker deserved it, and you were cheering when it happened. Mm-hmm. Exactly. And that's exactly the point that I'm building up to. So, And at the start of my stream, I had a little bit of a rant about how shipping discourse within the fandom is getting bad. It's getting bad. Like, and the working theory is that because Crisis Core is coming out soon, we're experiencing the death knells, or the death, it's not the death knell. Well, it is the death knell, but the death throes of a very toxic subset of the fandom, at least as far as the clerics are concerned. So, and again, I'm saying it's not all clerics. That's why I say the subset of a subset of a subset, or I'll say the DDC is what they've been called on Twitter also, or the Cleradicals is another fun one that Stygian has penned. I love that one also. But it's very much and one of the things that they're rehashing is that Tifa was a bully, Tifa was this, that, and the other, trying to destroy her character right alongside Zack, who they're saying, oh, he was a womanizer, he was this, that, and the other, when the canon compilation says otherwise. They are basing this, what's the best way to put it? They're basing this idea that Tifa was a nasty bully off of a mistranslation that has since been corrected years ago. But they're clinging onto it so tight because they don't have a lot of ammunition against Tifa. In no way am I saying Tifa is perfect and should be absolved of any negative character flaws. She does have character flaws. One of which being that when she is in emotional distress, she tends to do stupid shit. Do I blame her? No. Is it a character flaw? Abso-freaking-lutely. Because when she does stupid shit, that usually somebody's gonna get hurt. Usually her. And usually Cloud takes the fall for it. It's a recurring theme. However, with that being said, that character flaw has nothing to do with Cloud being a social pariah. Actually, no, wait. Let me rephrase that statement. She has no active part in Cloud being outcast or a social pariah. His own actions are to play, except people want to put the blame at her feet. So if anything bad happens, it's Tifa's fault. Or it is a result of Tifa being a bad person. And it's just like, that's not the story that was written. And that's also why I went on the tangent when Biggs brought up that Cloud is a good man. Because he is. He is a good man, in spite of him being prickly in places. But his prickliness is a defense mechanism for this persona that he had crafted. This idea of, I'm a hard ass, I'm a badass, you know? Like, nothing can hurt me, I'm indestructible, I can take you down, you know, the whole hoorah, I'm awesome mentality. That is his defense mechanism to protect his very fragile ego. Tifa's barely holding him together. And now, but because she's like, oh, she's not challenging his story, that's a bad thing. Even though if she were to say, hey, you weren't in Nibelheim, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, you crazy. I don't know. I think that would break Cloud more. I actually agree with her decision to shut up about this. But no, that's something that she gets crucified for. He didn't have a lot of friends back in Nibelheim because he picked fights with everybody. Oh no, that's Tifa's fault. She was a bully. She ostracized him, and this has nothing to do with the fact that Cloud is throwing punches every other day. No, it's Tifa's fault. Cloud is an asshole to Avalanche, and Tifa decides, hey, I'm going to spend time with them because this might be our last night together. We're about to go on a mission to bomb the other sector. Was it Sector 8? I already forgot which reactor it was. But the second reactor bombing mission. Before that, if you keep trying to talk to Tifa, she'll say, hey, no offense, but can I spend time with my friends here? And then I'll join you later. Oh no, she's ostracizing him. This is her fault. All her fault. She's such a terrible person. And it's like, one, she spent her whole day with Cloud already. Her whole life shouldn't be Cloud, for one. And for the other, Cloud is the one that ostracized himself by being a fucking asshole. But no, that's Tifa's fault. That's Tifa's fault. It's all her fault. She can't win for losing. And unfortunately, because of the subset of a subset of a subset, you'll find that the fandom especially, outside of shipping discourse, it's not just the shippers. It's also people like, hey, this isn't the story. We spend so much time defending Tifa because we have the subset of a subset of a subset every day, demonizing this woman for breathing in the wrong direction. And it's when in actuality, we wouldn't have a game if it weren't for Tifa. Literally, Cloud, he joined the military to impress Tifa. He essentially risked treason for the equivalent of a sandwich, when really it was for Tifa. He survived death how many times for Tifa? He killed Sephiroth 3 times for Tifa. Like, you wouldn't have Final Fantasy VII if it weren't for her. Yes, Aerith is a very important character, but at the same time, she dies 1/3 of the way into the game. She is important, but her importance is a little overstated as far as the weight of everything that goes on in the game. Like, she wasn't supposed to be deified the way that she was. Her loss is supposed to be a tragedy, but it wasn't supposed to be romanticized the way that it is. And yes, the developers are they're like, okay, well, she's deified, might as well dig into this, which makes sense. I'm gonna take this off, my ears are getting heavy, so you're gonna deal with my Sailor Moon hair for a little bit, for a lot of bits. So a lot of the time is you look at this and you see that, and in no way am I trying to demonize Aerith, because Remake Aerith is extremely endearing, especially when you compare to her original incarnation with I loathed original Aerith. Excuse me. Up until Remake, I would actually say I like Aerith in every game that she's in except for the OG. To put into perspective just how much I hated the original Aerith. But even with that in mind, I don't think I've ever demonized Aerith the same way or disparaged Aerith the same way that the DDC does. And then you see in the game and how Tifa she got Cloud a home, she helped him build a career, she was making it so that even if he left her, he would be able to survive and make it on his own and succeed on his own. She did that of her own volition because she didn't want him to suffer as she has. And yes, as the game progresses, she does cling a little bit tighter because she's seeing that he's not okay. And since he is the last link she has to her past, the last link she has to her family, her lost friends, her lost loved ones, and she sees that he's not okay, she is going to be clinging a little bit tighter. And that's part of the story. And yeah, she is going to start distancing herself because, hang on, he's a little weird, and she's going to be protective. She doesn't argue his point because she doesn't want to chase him away. She is protecting him. She's holding him together. And Cloud, in turn, literally says as much, I'm probably misquoting, but he tells her that you believing in me is the only thing that matters. You don't tell that to somebody that was your bully. You don't tell that to somebody who tormented you in youth, or to somebody that you don't care about. And this is after Aerith had died. This is after a lot has happened. And he's still holding himself together because of Tifa. So yeah, he is made of glass, but she's holding him together just fine until she's not. But that's part of the story. And the story is that Tifa is there for him, even when she's losing faith in him. And it was only and Sephiroth, he knows it too. Why do you think he cosplays as Tifa? In order to try and form a little wedge between them. I don't know. I love Cloud and Tifa. And yes, they are not as spicy as these ships that I usually go for, but they've got everything, and honestly, they kind of set the standard. And no other ship in any fandom that I've ever been in comes close to the depth that Cloud and Tifa have, because they are so well-rounded. They are an actual believable relationship, and it's beautiful, and I love them. And it's just, it bothers me so much that people take these beautifully and well-written characters, not just Cloud and Tifa, but all of them. They're well-written, and we have 25 years worth of compilation, and yet we have people that are just like, you know what, we gonna take this and chuck it out the window. Maiden, we're gonna rely on Maiden who travels the planet, even though it's essentially a fanfic that has no correlation with actual established canon lore and isn't even helping anything. But no, we're gonna use Maiden, and how I don't even know. And now if you go onto Twitter, which is a freaking dumpster fire right now, we have the DDC and He Who Must Not Be Named in the Jessie camp just like, okay, we must take a shit on Tifa because, oh, she's so popular. And it's just like, motherfucker, there's a reason she's popular, because she's a good fucking character. Oh, no, I could go on. I don't know. Just, I'm looking forward to Crisis Core. I'm looking forward to Tifa, my baby Tifa. I am hoping that the crystals that I ordered are going to be here soon, so I can relist Tifa's earrings into my Etsy shop, because I am doing both her regular earrings and the Yeehaw Tifa earrings, because I absolutely must. But it's just, I don't know. It's just, I can continue going on the tangent about how amazing Cloud and Tifa are, and how Tifa is literally holding Cloud together and enabling him to be the hero that we all love. It's just, I can go on. But yeah, I have yammered on for quite a bit. Honestly, I should probably start doing his squats, simply because I am fluffy. I am fluffy, and normally I don't mind being fluffy, but I've gotten a little fluffier than I like, so I'm going to probably start doing his squats right along there, alongside him. But yeah, as for Zack himself, whew, I would climb that man like a tree and cling like a koala. I love that man. Whew, he can get it. Oh, I love that man. He's fucking sexy. Can you tell I've been single for too long? But fortunately, or unfortunately, depending on what side of the debate you're on. Yeah, you know what? Bangs, no bangs, I don't care. I just love Zack. He's so freaking adorable, and I love him. And honestly, and as the fandom goes into a tizzy, like, I can't help but love Zack more, because he's going to bring an end to the toxicity and most of the fighting, because once he's here, everything else is just like, just that radiant smile, and him being that adorable boy he is, because he is the embodiment of a puppy. He is a puppy for a reason, and I love him. And yes, he eventually does get daddy title. He really is. But yeah, he is actually the predecessor for I'm sorry, I was about to say Titus. It's Titus, I'm sorry. I butcher the pronunciation of his name, and I'm sorry, but I'm trying. But yeah, Titus was actually inspired by Zack, if I remember correctly. So it's just like, Zack is such an amazing character that it's hard not to love him. And whenever I hear somebody doesn't like Zack, I look at them and be like, do you kick puppies? Do you drown kittens? Like, how do you not like Zack? Like, you have to, like, be willful to not like Zack. Like, I give side eye to anyone that says they don't like him. Just like, you know, like when you look at somebody when they say they don't like animals, and it's just like, you don't like animals because of experience, or you don't like animals because you're a sociopath? Which one is it? Like, exactly, red flag. Not just a red flag. I'm talking like toro, venga. Just like, no. Zach is amazing. Zach is baby. Zach is daddy. I love Zach. I love him. So, and he is single-handedly destroying the shipping wars, because he's going to be the end of it before we even get to part 2 of the remake. And he's just so amazing, and I love him. And it's been years since I played the original Crisis Core. So it's gonna hang on a second. It's going to be like I haven't played, which I have been very, very capable, or not capable, that's the wrong word to use. Hang on a second. I'm still on mom duty, I'm sorry. My brother, whenever he leaves, I have to keep an eye on my mom, who's medically disabled, so I'm sorry for being so distracted all the time. And so busy all the time, and whole other tangent. But anyhow, Zach is amazing. Zach is going to bring peace to the fandom, or at least, kill the very vocal toxic members, and just smother them between his pecs, just like, yeah, smother. I love him so much. And then he's going to be cute while doing it, because he's just blowing up everything. And I can guarantee you, if we're going to come out of Crisis Core with a lot more Azeroth fans, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. All of it. Alright. Oh my gosh. I can't wait. So yeah, next week, if I don't, I'm probably not... I want to sneak in some more Final Fantasy this weekend. I just can't make any promises. But next week, Monday and Wednesday, I'm going to be streaming. So I'm going to be swapping out Jack and Daxter for Final Fantasy VII. That way, when I get back from my trip out of town, Crisis Core. I'm going to be back on Sunday or Sunday night. Hang on a second. Pulling up my calendar. Okay, so I leave on the 8th, and I'm back on the 11th. It comes out on Tuesday. Yeah, I might be streaming every day that week. Be like, nope, nope. I'm gonna need me some Zach. I'm gonna need me some Zach goodness. So honest, yeah, yes. Schedule what? Monday, Wednesday, Friday, what? Nope. It's gonna be every day that work doesn't get in my way for Zach. I want him to smother me between his pecs and his arms. Oh! Can you tell I'm a Zach fangirl? I love him. Oops. I did something stupid. Yep, I did something stupid. Crap. There's a shelf underneath my desk. I accidentally hit the eject button for my PlayStation 2. And I had it on this whole time. Hopefully that didn't ruin my game. Alright, anywho, I am going to let you guys go. I love you so much. Thank you so much for staying and hanging out with me for a decidedly longer stream than my usual. Give me a follow on Twitter, all under Rhea Alexanders, and then I will let you know what my weekend schedule will be. Because I try to pick up a day on the weekend, but since I'm crafting for my Yule festival, I might have to focus on making more jewelries for my vending than I am going on the gaming. But yeah. Definitely for sure on Monday. I love you guys. We will see you for sure on Monday. I will let you know about the weekend. I am not making promises because that bites me in the ass. But yeah, again, thank you so much for joining me. I love you guys so very much. And my dogs are whining at me, so that means I gotta go. I love